This little video is about creating a new website using the Google Tools sites. Um, it's split into two separate areas where one, we're going to create the site. The next one is we're going to populate the Google Drive folder that you'll use with PDFs. And these PDFs can be drawings that you've done, extracts or prints from the CAD program you want, anything you like, as long as it is useful for your CV. So Google Sites is where we're going, and there are a number of ways we can get there. The first one, and both of them actually, are via the 9 pins. So go on to Google, to your account, and I hope by now you will have created your Gmail account, because that's where we're going to operate from. So log into your Gmail account through Google Chrome, best one, and use that new account, and you'll come up with a screen not too dissimilar for this. If you've got the blank white screen, then fine. I've got this one with Porsche on it because I quite like Porsche cars. So use the 9 pins you will see at the top right hand side, and you want to drop it down, and then you're going to go more, because the ones we're looking for isn't in the main selection. So go down to more, and then even more from Google, and then click that, and you'll get this site come up. And if you go all the way through this and go all the way through all the different things that are on offer, and there are absolutely loads of stuff in here. I mean, it's quite amazing what they offer for free. And the one we're going to do is right down the bottom, and you can see it there. It's called Google Sites. Now you can click on that, and you will come to the opening page, which is where all the files are kept. Now these files are actually kept in your Google Drive under Google Sites. They already make this up for you. You don't have to do anything, it's automatic. These are the ones I've got now at the moment, and I've been using this to make up one, and there's one I've just been trying out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into that one using the little dots, and I'm going to bin it because I don't want that one. So we've got one quick way of getting in there. Let me just take that off, and let's go on to a new blank page for Google Chrome. And again, we're going to go into the 9 dots, and this time I'm going to go into Google Drive. And it's here where I can show you where those things are, because there you can see Google websites, and if you go into there, you'll see the ones I've already done, and a classroom one that I've already made up. So let's go out of that and go back to the main Google Drive, which is what I've got there. And let's just think about what we're going to do. I want to create a new, more Google site. And if you click on that, then it'll come through and it'll actually create one for you. Now it's exactly the portion you were before. Instead of pressing the little red plus button to the bottom right hand side, I've come straight to it. But this is where you'll come to if you go onto that blank opening page and then click on the big red button on the bottom right for the to create a new website. Now what we're going to do is we're going to call this a new site, and I'm going to call this paper. And if I just click out of that down here somewhere in the end, you'll see that that suddenly comes onto the top there. And you can do the other way around if you like. You can put it into there and it'll come up there. So now we've got a blank page, and we've got a title up here. Now, if you look at this, we've got a nice little text box all ready for you. And there I'm going to come, this site is all about paper. And you can leave it at that if you wanted to. I can stretch that out if I want to, or do what I like, but I'm quite happy with that. Let's just put that there. Now, if you look in the background, you'll just see in the background these vertical lines, which are an aid to getting it all leveled up. Now, if I click onto the top, if I click out of this and then go onto the top of this and just click it again, and then you'll see it change a little bit to try and allow you to move things around. Let's see what I can. There it goes. That's what I was looking for, and I can move that across if I want to, and do it over there. And if you move it across, that's great, and it's a bit more central into there. Now, what I'd also like to do is to change the background image to this. And if you hover over the top of it, you'll see this one come up, and I can do header type, and I can go into title only. I can go into back to the banner, or I can go into the bigger banner. So I'm going to go back to the original banner. I quite like that. Now if I click out of that. Now if I go back over the top of the banner, it says change image. And I want to upload or select the image. Well, I can upload a photograph or whatever I want for that. But at the moment, I'm going to select the image from the gallery that's already done. You can choose by URL. You can search for one. You can go into your albums, or you go onto Google Drive if you've already got one. And I quite like the idea of this one here. And I'm going to use that one, I think. And it highlights it up. You do select and it changes it ready for you. And you can see this down the bottom right hand side, because what's happened is that Google has altered the font and the weight of that font to suit the background. I can turn that off and it'll go to something else. But to be honest, it's so flipping good, I don't see why you shouldn't just leave it on and let it do its job, which is to get the right font for the right background. So what we've got now is the header all done, and I can do some other bits and pieces. Now let's have a look over the top right here. I've got inserts. I've got the usual tools to insert things in there to make it a proper site. I've got the pages side, so I can add pages to my site. And I can also change the themes of this. There's not many up there at the moment, but there's enough to get it interesting. And I'm going to stick to what I've got, which is simple. So let's go back onto the insert and let's insert a box, which is text. And in this one, I can put this site is all about paper and its use in architecture. And I can click out of that and I can just leave it like that if I wanted to. But I can click back into it and you can see over here, I can drag the bar across. And you see those little vertical lines? They're to help you get things more or less lined up. So if I just click on that, bring it across and then let it go, and it does that. Let's go and add another line and it comes in below that. And let's say paper has been used as the main form of communication for such a long time. Not very good prose, but there you go. Now, what I can do is I can do the same as I did before. I can go over to the little grip bar and I can drag that across to make the text box just about right. And you see, it's actually then made it come across. That's fine for me at the moment. So let's click. Only what I think I'll do is I'll move it up to that top there. So what I can do is just wave it around a little bit, that's the mouse, and then click it and then hold on to it and put it into the right place. And you can see it's put it into that whole group box there rather than just the one. And what I can do there is I can move that around if I wanted to, but at the moment I'm just going to leave that where it is. And it makes moving blocks of text around quite easy. So let's have a look over here. And I've got this page and I've got some more text down here, whatever you like, some more pictures if you wanted to. And I can actually leave that alone for time being. So let's go up here and go on to pages. And let's have a look at what we're looking here. I've got one called home, which is where you're looking at the moment. So let's use this one here and let's add a page. And I'm going to call this CV Portfolio. Now, if I do that and click done, you'll see I've created a page up here called Portfolio and it's already done. I've got the existing home up here and I've got the CV Portfolio. So if I go up to home using that, you can see that the menu is now being created for me. I've got to do nothing about that. It's all done. And if I click on that, which is the other way of doing it, I can go onto the portfolio site. So I've got two pages up here. I could do another one up here and I could say, let's call that contact. And click on done and I've got a contact page. And here I can go back into there, and I can go up at the top here, and I can put contact details. And then I can go onto a new box down there, which I think is probably right. And then it's, you all know my address, where it's 15 and whatever it is, and I can add it in, blah, 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 Lane. And then Solihull. And then the postcode and everything else, and perhaps your mobile number. 07 la 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 2 3 4 5 6, whatever you like down there, and we'll just leave it alone. Now the interesting thing is I could put in another text box here, and I could go up to the little grippy box up here, and I can then move that up and plonk it over the top of that, and I can make a little bit of a space, or I can put some more information in that text box there. But let's hi-ho. If we highlight that now, you can see the bin there. Let's bin it and put it out of the way. So I've got my nice address over here. And what I'll do is I'll click into that, and I will then bring that across over to there like that. And I can put some more information, maybe. Okay, that's a good idea. Let's have a quick look at this over here, because if I look over here, I can do maps. Now, wants to know, allowed to know my location, and what I'll do is I'll put it into there and I'll drag it in, and I can just use that to select it, and it puts it over there. Now that's a little bit too low down for me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put that into that box there, and you can see it's increased it up and it's put it in. So let's move it across a little bit. There you go. So I've got my address and I've got a map down there to show it where it is. A bit large, and if you want to, you could zoom in and put it really close in, or you can switch on satellite and do it that way. So I've got my contacts and I've got everything done. Let's go back to my pages, and perhaps I didn't want that in there and I wanted that one down below that. So you can move them around and do what you like there. It's dead easy. But anyway, what I'm looking for is my CV portfolio. So let's go back to insert and let's put some text in there. Please see below to view my portfolio of drawings. And let's just put a go on there. Let's just leave that as it stands at the moment, because what I want to do is I want to go into insert again, and this time I want to use a folder that I'm going to get you to create in Google Drive that has all your PDFs in that are exported from your CAD program of choice. And if you can link them all together into one, or you can then use the plus button and add folders into it for each separate one. So you've got about 5 or 6 PDFs for one job, and then we'll do it that way. But anyway, let's make it easy. What we want is to go from Google Drive, and you click on that over there, and it shows you all my folders that I've got in here that I use. I use Google for just about everything now. So what I want to do is I want to go into the public share folder, and what I'm looking for are project PDFs. Now if I click on that, you'll see I've got 2 in there. Now let's have a look at this one, which is a job I did just recently, still on site, and let's insert that into my CV portfolio. Now whatever I add into that folder will be there, and you'll see it if we go up to here, and don't press the publish yet. Let's just look it up here and let's look preview, and let's see what it looks like on real life in there. And you can see there it's got it up, and if I click on that, then you'll see it opens it up and puts up all my PDFs that I've linked onto that particular job for somebody to view and see. And there's quite a few in that particular job. And I've actually, because I work in Vectorworks, I can easily combine all of the printout as PDF into one single PDF file. But anyway, let's go out of that and click onto that and go out of it. So there's my site, and let's go back out of the preview mode and go back into ordinary mode just by clicking the back button. And we can start to play around with this a little bit more, because what I probably could do is I could go into that and delete that out. And let's go back into the from the drive. Let's go into public share and let's look at projects. Now you can see that I can insert that and it should bring up the 2 folders that I've got in there. So I can do it either way. I can do it as one folder with all of them in, or I can put several folders within a folder. And if I do preview on that, then you'll see it comes up with both the folders in. And let's look at that Church Wright Street. There's a church we're having a look at the moment. If I click onto that, then you'll see it brings up a single PDF file, and then there's all the drawings we're doing for that particular site. So let's again go out of that, and then we go back out of this into ordinary mode. So there's 2 ways I think are quite easy of putting a CV portfolio, and I can't spell portfolio, so let's just go up there, and I'm dyslexic obviously, OR, and it will change everything as well if I remember rightly. No, it won't. It will just leave it there. So what we can do is we can go up to pages. I can go up onto that, and if I click on that, it will say rename page. And if I go on to that bit there, which is dead easy, and change it around, and that's portfolio, and then just click out of that, and it will probably change that anyway, but I did it the other way around. So there we have it. I've got a site with a main home landing page, and you can put whatever you like on there. You can see how easy it is to do. I can put my portfolio page up there, and what I suggest you do is that you actually put this maybe side by side, and let's just do that to there perhaps, and then what we can do is another one of these over this side for your CV for them to download. And then I've got my contacts page at the back, and just be careful what you put there, but hey ho, it's up to you. And there you got a contacts page. Now we've all done this, and what we can now do is we can go and publish it. So what I'd like to do is to publish this up to site. Now I'll take this as far as I can. So let's publish this. Site location. So this will put it into sites.google.com view. Now, request public search engines not to display my site. In other words, I don't want them looking at it, or request the public search engines not to display my site. So I like to click that at the moment. And let's call this site location. And what we need to do there is to add this. So let's look at paper. Oh, look at this. Because you can see what's happening now. It's put it on the top line and it's added to the bottom line. In other words, it's saving it in Google Sites. But in this particular case, I can't do that because somebody has already paper in architecture. Hey, it says I can do that. So I can look at that as being paper in architecture, and it's going to save it on the Google Sites. It'll also save the blank file within my drives, and you can see that in a second. So if I did that, it would publish it and it would be live. So I don't particularly want to publish that at the moment, but that's what would happen. And then you come back and you come back to this and know full well that your site is up there. Now I've done a couple of sites. Now if you want to go back to the main menu to see more than one site you've done, there's the paper site that I've got. There's another couple, and let's have a look at Birmingham University. Let's have a look at that one. If you just click on it, Birmingham City University. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's the conference we've got. We've got a big conference coming up soon about BIM and data beyond BIM. And then we've got a paper listing site that I'm going to do about subjects that are very close to that particular one. And if I publish that, you can see I haven't published this. I've just kept it ready to be done. But again, I could go on there about and say it's Birmingham City University's seminar series, but I'll cancel that and come out of it. Again, I'll go back onto this to go back into the ones that I've already done. And let's have a look at this one. Have I actually done this one? Does it say any of them have been saved? Let's have a look at this one. And if I publish that up there, it's going to publish it. Oh, it's already published. Your site has been successfully published already. So there's one I've already done. And if I go up here, you'll see that it's there. But what I can do is published settings. And it's putting up as Skaze, which is my nickname. And you can see up there, it's already been published up to Skaze. And I've actually not requested anything, so anybody can find it if they want to. So what I need to do is I need to copy that all the way across, Control C, go into a new page, and if I do up the top here, Control Paste, and there it is, and it should come up with my website all ready for me to do. And there's some basic construction stuff that I'm doing. I've got my CAD, my daybook, my CPD stuff that's going up there. I haven't filled anything in there again. Oh, where I can. Look, there's my spreadsheet. That's an interesting one, because what I've done here is I've created a spreadsheet with all my activity in, and then it's just a simple Google spreadsheet, and I've just dragged it in and put it up here, and you can see all my hours and filtering by projects and activity that I've done over the years that I've created this from 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I haven't done 16 to 17. I've been a bit lax in the last year, but hey ho. There's my site, and then you can see over here, if you want to get hold of me, I've put in some bits and pieces, not too much, just enough to get hold of me. And there's the portfolio site that I did before, and you can see that's been done under Skaze. So there it is. Google, all nicely done. It's very easy to use. They put your site up onto their own domain, so you can go here, sites, google.com, view, and then you see all my stuff under Skaze, and then you're good to go. And it's a great way of simple and easy creation of a website. So hope you get on well with it. Play around with it. There's an awful lot of things you can do. Let's just have a quick look at the site that we did before for paper. Where's the paper one gone? There it is. Let's just click on that one and go back into the paper site. And you can see I can put up docs that I've got in there. I can put slides up there if I wanted to, which is what I have done on my site. Then I've got sheets. I've got forms I can fill in there, and I've got charts that I can actually fill in from there. So there's a whole load of stuff you've got that you can put in. And if you click on docs, which is, you know, I have just got loads of different documents I could have put up there, and you can put these as a CV and then drag that across and put that in if you wanted to. That's actually a book that I'm writing at the moment. So loads of things you can do up there, and you can actually add all those different things into your site, and you can use it to muck around with it. You can then use the grips and do what you like. You can highlight a word there, and you can put the grip on that, and you can put the link where it is going to, whatever you like up there. So that's it. Hope you get on well with it. It's very good and very simple to use. Now, if I remember rightly, if you create a site, you get something like about 15 gigabytes of space, which is more than enough to load a few photographs up and your own sites onto that domain that you've got in your Google Drive. Because when you create a Google account, you get Google Drive thrown in for free. If you're going to keep it, then you can purchase more space later on. Or if we can, we'll try and get this made into an educational site, and then you'll get a new account there with quite a lot more space. Anyway, have fun, be good, and enjoy Google Sites. Thank you.